Jesus Christ. Forgot to check this before I got started. Whoop, feedback. Okay. Um, Again, I've got people in the chat today. Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me now? I've got Heinz Koch and Steve Martin both in the chat. Let me know that they couldn't hear me. I turned my mic off at some point and forgot to turn it back on. So, welcome to the April unboxing and review show. I think I can get some feedback still. One second, guys. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay, so thank you very much, both Heinz and Steve, for letting me know that I had forgot to turn my mic on. Apparently, I didn't look at my mixer board to notice that the indicator wasn't moving. I gotta fix this. Anyways, as I was saying, we're here, as I commented down there in the box, we're unboxing the Zartan family today. I finally gotten all three members of the Zartan family, so we're going to take a look at them. Also, again, you missed everything I said previously, so the background image around me, that is courtesy of 3djoes.com. Again, they're the ones that did the art of G.I. Joe, which, again, you can see the logo there at the top, and they're on the side. Where's it at? On the side. They get that gigantic book that, like I say, weighs got to be like 25 pounds. I definitely recommend, if you got extra 100, 150 bucks, whatever it is, to go out to 3djoes.com and pick it up. They've also got posters there, very wonderful posters, and a lot of other stuff. So definitely check out 3djoes.com. And thank you, Carson. You do a great job with your stuff. But as I was saying, we're here to talk about Zartan and his family. The first we're going to look at is the oldest I've got, Zarana. I think it's the oldest I've got. Let me check real quick. No, it's not the oldest I've got, actually. Anyways, we're going to start with Zarana. Again, as I was saying, this is back when they had the plastic in the packaging. From the chat, Heinz says he's got the Art of 3D Joes, and he has not opened it yet. Yeah, I've opened it up, but I haven't pulled it out and really looked through it very much because I've been busy, but it's a massive tome. As we talked about, I think it was on the last episode of the main show, Brad was talking about it, and he told us how massive it was, but he still didn't do it justice. It was when I got in the mail, not the mail, but the whatever, UPS or whatever it was, it felt like a box of bricks, but it's very nice. So again, Zarana, as I was saying, this is back when they had the plastic packaging before they got rid of it, and then they brought it back again. Again, anyone in the chat, they're just watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching at. Looks I've got people on YouTube and on Twitch. Hey, I've got a Twitch viewer. Feel free to throw some messages in the chat, and I can read your messages on the air. But again, Zarana, again, this has the box art on it. I like the box art, but I don't. I like the box art in general because you get some very good descriptions sometimes. This here, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of this depiction of Zarana. It's too cartoony, a little shiny, but it's a little too cartoony for my taste. That's the side. We got a couple of drawings of Zarana. Do you guys like this drawing of Zarana, or is it just me? It tells down here, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Zarana. On the top, we got the Cobra logo, the number 48. On this side, we got some of the little insignias for Dreadnoks, and we got the number 48 with the G.I. Joe logo. The back, we've got a beautiful picture. Again, I wouldn't mind having that as a poster, as I was saying. Got Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow fighting straight up front with all these characters surrounding them. It's a very nice box art on the back. Again, not happy with the drawing of Zarana, a little too cartoony for me, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and open it up. So again, I can't find my scissors, but I thought I had brought a knife today. So I'm going to pop that open. So again, out there in the chat, let me know, do you guys have this character? What do you guys think of her? Again, this is back. The back covering this has a picture of the Cobra logo. Very nice. I like that big red Cobra logo there. It's very nice. And we'll pull out the Zarana herself. We'll pull out the figure first. I've scalped her. So again, put that back on. Her hair comes off, so you can replace it. I'll show you in a minute. So here's Zarana. Again, the hair comes off because you replace it, which we'll get to in a minute. Some of the figures have like a little peg that goes into it. This one here just pops on her head. So you actually got 3 looks for it. You got the skinhead look, or you got 2 different hairstyles. This is a more not classic, but a more modern, more realistic looking hair, which is nice. But like I say, her knees, sometimes these knees don't bend so well. Her arms and everything bends. It's a little, oh, there it goes, a little stiff, not too bad. I've had worse. So you got Zarana, you got the cute little pink midriff that she always wears. Got the gauntlets, pants with the rips in the side. She got her holster here for a knife, it looks like. She's got spurs on the back of her boots. It's very nice. Very nice figure so far. I'm liking it. She's got the, I'm not sure what the strap is for offhand. That's supposed to be a bra strap, or if it's a hidden weapon. I'm not sure what that strap there is for her. But again, it's a very classic looking look for Zarana for the most part. Now, if you want to go more classic, as I said, we can pull the hair off, and it's easy just to pop on and off. It fits on snugly. And then you got kind of the more classic looking poofed up hair that she had in the comics and the cartoon that we originally had with her. Let's go and pull out some accessories. I'm going to leave that hair on her for now. So I'll put the other hair back in the box. And let's pull off these accessories. Or as I think it was my son used to say, sexcessories. I forget if it was my son or my daughter. It may have been my daughter, Alexis, actually. That said sexcessories. Oh, she heard me say that. She'd freak out and she'd kill me. She's a teenager now. Turned 17 tomorrow as of this recording. So, yeah, she would definitely freak out and kill me. She heard me repeating that probably to everybody. But the hair's not made for that. So, put that to the side. So, again, for Zarana, she comes with a backpack. There's a hole here for something, which we'll figure out maybe. I'm not sure what the hole in the bottom of her backpack is for. If anyone knows, let me know. There's a little hole there. Looks like something can be inserted there, but I'm not quite sure what that's for. But she's got her backpack, which goes on her back. Obviously, let's see how it pops on. Sometimes they go on good, sometimes they're not. Oh, it fits on snugly. It's a nice tight fit for her backpack. Very nice. She's got weapons. She's got a little dagger, a little knife. And yeah, I tried, and none of these knives go into her backpack. But this fits into her side holster here, as you can see, so she can pull her arm out of the way, pull a dagger out. She's got, whoops. Okay, it's still there. She's got a knife, a bigger knife. And again, I tried, and that doesn't seem to fit in there very well. So I'm not quite sure what that hole in the top of her backpack. Well, I guess it does fit in there. There you go. Fits like so. And then she's got a gun with the little butts on the end. It's reminiscent of her classic look, but a little bit modified. And then it comes with, I like a lot of these, have these clips. They can pop in and make it more realistic. Something else you can lose, but it's also, again, it makes it look a little bit more realistic, having an actual clip you can pop in and out. If I can get it in there. It's just so small and I'm so blind. There you are. So the clip fits in the bottom of the gun like so. And she can hold her gun, put it in her hand. That's how it fits. And there's Zarana with her gun in her hand. Head has a nice movement to it. Again, I like the sculpt detail to it. Her face, get a close up of her face. Her face has that angry, resting bitch face, as they say. Again, very nice. It's very classic Zarana. Again, she can hold the gun. She can pet a knife in the other hand. And she is ready for prom night. I mean, so she hold her weapons, or like I say, if you don't want her to hold that knife, it goes back here into her backpack. So we can figure it out. But there is Zarana. So the only extra piece we have with Zarana at that point is just the extra hair, which again, I'm going to leave in the back packing for now. But this is Zarana, guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Like I said, the box art, not impressive, but Zarana herself, very nice. I like the way she looks. It's a nice sculpt. She's got the classic pink midriff that she always wore. Looks like, again, the hair's a little bit different, but she's got that bunched up hair like she had in the comic, or the toy in the comic originally, in the cartoon. So again, very classic look for Zarana. And as I said, I know a lot of people want newer looks for the figures. At this point in my life, the only ones I'm mainly interested in are the ones that bring back the nostalgia from when I was younger. I say a kid, I didn't start buying these until I was a teenager, an older teenager. So, but that's the only ones I'm mainly interested in now, is the ones that bring back some nostalgia. So I like that there is a slight modern look to the gun, and I even like the modern hair. It's not bad. But for now, we're going to keep her with the classic hair. What do you guys think about Zarana? That's the first figure we're looking at today. I'm going to put the box back together again because I'm anal and I'm a bit of a hoarder. I blame my mother for that. I'll put this back in the box and I'll keep it over here for later use or whatever. But there we have Zarana. Again, very playable. The legs move. The feet, whoops. Watch you don't drop the gun. Hang on, one just dropped my slipper. Because yes, I'm off work today, so I'm wearing slippers still. Took my shower, got dressed, got my Justice League shirt with Firestorm on it. Because again, as my buddy at work says, today is formal / Firestorm Friday. So I try to wear Firestorm shirts on Friday. So anyways, there is Zarana with her gun with the little, the blade or whatever that is on the end there doesn't move, but it'd be hard and be more fragile. She keeps dropping the gun. I don't know if she's right-handed or left-handed. One second, guys. Okay. There we are. So, let me try her other hand. Yeah. Fits about the same. Fits a little better on her right hand. So there is Zarana. We're going to put her to the side. And we'll move on to her brother. Oh, it's her younger brother, older brother. I don't know the ages or if they're twins. But the next one is, it's a newer figure, Zandar. Again, this is number 146 in the series. So he came quite a bit later than his sister. Again, we're back to the plastic packaging, which I like. But there's no drawings on this. Well, there's a drawing on the side, which again, I think that's a good drawing of Zandar. Much better representation than his sister. Again, we got the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Cobra logo. It says he's Cobra, Zandar. I wish it would have said Dreadnought instead of Cobra, but you know, that's kind of how they faction these off. I've got the little symbols here on the side. You got the QR code you can scan, which I believe just goes to Hasbro's website. On the back, instead of a drawing or the picture of the that big, look like a map thing, or not map, but look like it'd be a poster. We have a picture of the figure with a close-up of his shoulder and the tattoo on his wrist. We got a motorbike in the background, which they need to sell some motorcycles for these guys. You find me a good couple motorcycles for the Dreadnoughts. Because again, I've got the 3 they've got released so far. And I've got Monkey. I actually was able to pre-order Monkey Wrench. So, well, actually, there's more than 3. There's also Road Pig, which I haven't opened yet. And there's the other one. I forget his name now. It's one I didn't buy because it wasn't as interesting. Oh, One-Eyed, whatever it is. I wasn't as interested in him because he came a bit later, and he wasn't part. As I was saying, I'm mainly into the nostalgic things they bring back to characters I either was familiar with or had. And I don't think I had One-Eyed, not a hide. I can't pronounce his name, so that's why I don't want him. We're going to open the box. Again, the top has the Cobra logo, the number of 146 on the side. So let's go ahead and pop open the box. And again, as I'm opening this, if you guys like what I'm doing here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons down below for YouTube. I'm not sure on Twitch if there's a like or subscribe button on there. I'm sure there is somewhere around here. I am not as familiar with Twitch. I look at that a little bit more. But make sure I'm here every third Friday normally of the month at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure to join us and tell a friend. But again, we've got the Cobra logo in the back. A little hard to see at the glare, but there you go. Cobra logo in the back of the box. Very nice. Put that to the side. And then we'll pull the figure out. I don't recall if it's ever stated, are they supposed to be twins or are they just siblings? I'm not sure. But anyways, there's Zandar and there's Zarana. It's about the same size. He's a little bigger than her. Just because he's a guy. But again, a classic look for Zandar. A little updated, but not too much. He's got a pink neckerchief around his neck or bandana, whatever, around his neck. It doesn't look like that comes off. He's got a something tied around his head. And Steve says they're paternal twins from what I remember. Thank you, Steve. That's for some reason I was thinking that, but I can't think of anywhere that's stated that. So I wasn't sure that was something I was making up or if I did see that somewhere. So thank you for confirming or semi-confirming, because again, it's what you said, what you remember. So we both seem to remember the kind of the same thing. So again, he's got the Dreadnought kind of logo on his shoulder, kind of stands out. He's got a tattoo up on his wrist. Where's he at? There he is. He's got a tattoo on his wrist. This side, he's got the gauntlets. He's got a holster here for a gun on the side. A holster on the back for the knife. Chain on his belt, because again, he's a Dreadnought, so he has to have chains on his belt. Steel tip boots, like a little logo here, or not logo, but a little steel thing on the end of it. And Steve says they were fraternal twins, not paternal. And Hines asked, didn't the original figure of Zandar change color like Zartan? You know what? I do not remember offhand. I would have to look and see if he had that color changing ability or not. As we're talking, I'm going to actually jump onto, where is it? I don't have it bookmarked anymore. Yojo.com. And I'm going to see what that said about Zandar, because I do not remember now if he had the color changing ability. Again, so I'm pulling up the actual figure. Again, he did have a neckerchief in the original figure, but wasn't quite as big. And he didn't have a vest. He was bare. He borrowed from the Dr. Mindbender school of no shirt. But again, the original figures were released in 1986. And yes, he did have the color change look. In fact, I'm going to see if I can do this. Share screen. Bear with me, guys. And if you guys can see that, there is Zandar, the original look with the color change. Yes, he did have the color change look, much like his brother. There was Zandar all geared. Oops. Zandar all geared up. And there's Zandar. So let's go and go back, and we're going to stop sharing. So again, yes, thank you very much, Heinz, for reminding me he did have the color change look. But again, his arms move, the elbows move, not too stiff. The head moves very well because, again, he's got this huge bandana and he's got this huge chest plate or whatever on, which again, they've added for this figure. So they did update this one a little bit more than Zarana, I think. The feet move. Again, see this one here, his knees are a little stiff. This one moves, but this knee's a little stiff. So, but I like, he's got the skull emblem, whatever, on his belt, as any good Dreadnought should. And let's go ahead and pull up the accessories. Again, I just want to say hi to everyone that's joined us in the either YouTube or Twitch or wherever we're at. Still one person on Twitch and 5 people viewing from the YouTube page. So thank you guys very much for joining us. I appreciate everyone that joins us. And again, feel free to throw something in the chat and I can read it off on the air. In fact, I could also do things like this if I remember right. So there where Steve was saying that they're fraternal twins. And then he corrected himself, said they're fraternal twins. And then Heinz asking about the color changing. And yes, for those that may have just joined us, Zandar, the original one, had color changing, much like his brother. I don't think this one does. It doesn't say anything about it being color change. But so again, the knives are kind of taped in, so I'm having a bit of a problem getting them out. So that's what the knife comes handy for. Nice, cut the knives out. That's clever, Brotherhead. So again, excuse the noise. So again, he's got the rifle with the spear in it, much like the original figure kind of had. Like I said, it's a little updated, but not too much so. I'm just looking at the other page. And yeah, it's very much reminiscent of the original look of the figure, of the gun. He's got the scope on there. He's got like a spear on there, whatever. Very nice. He's got a knife, which the original figure didn't have. A big cutting knife to cut somebody. Then he's got a dagger for more up-close personal work. And then a handgun, which again, the original figure didn't have all this other stuff. And then a backpack. Again, the original figure had a backpack, but the arrows on it were sticking out the top, it looks like. So again, let's see how the backpack fits on. So this one here, the backpack's a little loose. Let me see, maybe I just don't got that lined up. And a lot of times I've noticed if they've got like these vests or something on, the backpacks don't fit on quite as well. So there you go. You got to play with it a little bit. Got the backpack on. There's no place in the backpack to store equipment. So his knife goes back here in the back. Quick and easy access. The pistol goes in the holster. Goes in the holster on the side there. And then his weapons. Let me see. He's got no other place for the knife, the big knife. So we'll put the big knife in his left hand. Again, being a righty, I assume everyone's right-handed, but you know. So we got the knife in his, it's backwards, knife in his hand. And the other hand will pet his gun, his rifle. And there is Zandar. Again, he's got a very nice face sculpt. I like they've got the paint on his cheeks and around his face like they did originally. He's got a little earring. A little hard to see in here, but again, it's a little bit of an updated figure. A little more so than Zarana is, but again, it's a nice update, and I don't think they did a bad job with it. So, again, if you missed it earlier, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons to be informed whenever I do this show. Again, I'm here normally the third Friday of every month at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So, what do you guys think about Zandar? Do you guys like Zandar? Do any of you guys have him? Again, he's one of the newer figures I picked up recently. I ordered it and it finally came here not too long ago. So very nice. So that's 2 of the Zartan family members down. We'll put that back. Again, we'll put the plastic back in the box just because I'm anal and a hoarder. Put that to the side. So that's 2 down, 1 to go. So for Zartan, there's been several different releases of Zartan. I've got one here. In fact, I've got the deluxe one over here in a box, I believe. And somewhere he may be boxed up. I have the retro carded Zartan also, which is kind of a misnomer in my opinion, because Zartan didn't come carded. He came with the chameleon, the water skiff, whatever it is. And Steve says that again, I can play these on the air. The neck scar was a great touch on Zandar. I think you mean scarf, I'm assuming, because yeah. But yes, that's a great touch. I like that. It's a little bigger than the original one, but it makes it a little more realistic. Which I don't like using realistic with my action figures because again, it's him and his brother can change color, and he says that he has a scar across his throat. Oh, does he? I didn't. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't even look up. I didn't look that to see. Thank you, Steve. I did not look up and look. Wow, very nice detail. You can't. There's a new little scar on his neck there. Very nice. I didn't catch that. Very good catch there, Steve. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. Yeah, I missed that. Very nice. I like that. That is a great touch. I like it. Now we're back to the last one. Zartan, as I said, number 23, a bit of an older character, a bit of an older figure I've had laying around for a while. Again, this is back when they had the drawings on the front of the box. Unlike Zarana, this, in my opinion, is a good drawing of Zartan. On the side, we got a drawing of him holding his mask that the classic figure came with. This side says we're number 23. He's got the logos there on the side. The top has the Dreadnought type logo with the box number 23. Again, the plastic packaging so we can see what we're getting. Again, that was right in the store. You're actually getting Zartan and not, classifier Snake Eyes Origin Snake Eyes figure. So again, I'm going to open this box up. Pull this bad boy out. So this one here, I like this. The back of the box, instead of the Cobra logo, has the Dreadnoks and the Dreadnoks logo on it. I wish they would have done this with the other two. Again, being the Dreadnoks, it's a very nice touch. Again, yeah, the top of the box also, instead of having the Cobra logo, it's got the Dreadnoks logo. So again, this was nicely done. I do like that they incorporated the Dreadnoks logo for this, and I wish they would have done so for his brother and sister. So let's open up Zartan. Again, we're going to pull Zartan out of the box first. And to the people viewing this, please let me know what you think. How am I doing? What can I do on the show to make it better, make it more entertaining? I enjoy hearing from people. I get some people to join in and watch for a little while, and then they stop. But anyway, so Zartan. So here is Zartan. Again, very much of a classic look to him. It's a little updated, but it's very nice. Again, here his cowl comes off, which shows his bald head. His scarf can come off. And see, now you've got me looking. Yeah, he's not scarred. Okay. But again, there's Zartan without the scarf and the hood. Again, he moves around. Again, a very nice look. I love that detailed look. Straight. There you are. I love that detailed look on Zartan's face. It's a very nice look. In fact, let me go back to this look so we can see the 3D Joe stuff on the side. So, again, he's got a holster on the back here for a knife. He's got his leg guards. Again, the figure came with leg guards. The figure, they were removable for whatever reason, and they'd always get lost. He's got the shin guards. Again, the feet move. The knees. Yeah, this one here is not too stiff. Just the right amount of stiffness you want. Moves at the waist. The head moves. Waist is a little stiff. The arms move. Again, the shoulder pads are a little loose. They're a little, which makes it more realistic. And thank you, Heinz. Heinz says that he looks like a Road Warrior Hawk. Yes, very much so. And in fact, all the Dreadnoks have kind of a Road Warrior vibe from them. I'm not sure if that's where the original designs came from, but they very much have a Road Warrior design to most of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of his packaging out, or equipment out. So again, Zartan. I would hope they would do a skiff, whatever, not skiff. That's what Zanzibar had. I would hope that they would do a the swamp skier that he had. I would love to have that as a figure also or a toy. But so as again, Zartan comes with a knife. He comes with a gun. He comes with a oops. He had an extra hand, but I threw it away. He comes with not an extra hand. What the heck this is? He comes with a little claw, a little hand, and a little snake head. It looks like, or is that a snake head? I think like a snake head. He comes with a pistol. And I'm not quite sure what these accessories go on because it's not like a normal hand you can replace. Huh. And then he comes with a backpack. The backpack has hooks on the side. The original, oh, it does. The backpack opens up. Why? So his mask can go in there. He's got his mask. Just like the classic figure, the mask can go in there and store inside the backpack. I like that. Very nice. Because again, the original figure, the backpack would open so you can store his mask in there also. So it doesn't quite want to close all the way. Not sure if I'm doing something wrong. Make sure his head's all the way in there. So again, Willie Patterson, thank you for joining us. Willie says, will there be a Thrasher figure with the Thunder Machine? I would say yes and no. I expect since they're doing the rest of the Dreadnoks, they just not released, but they've pre-ordered for Monkey Wrench. I would assume a Thrasher may be next, but I honestly doubt they're going to do a Thunder Machine. They might. It might come down the road, but if they do a Thrasher, I'm sure it'll be much like Zartan without his vehicle. So they'll probably just release. I'm assuming that they will come out the Thrasher figure by itself, which is a shame. I would hope they would have the Thunder Machine. Again, the mask. Whoops. Hang on a second. Okay. And thanks for joining us, Willie. So his mask goes on his face. It doesn't stay on very well. It doesn't stay on at all. So if I did have a complaint, I guess with the hood, the cowl on, there you go. So if the cowl on, it actually does stay in place. It won't stay in place by its own, but with the cowl, his mask does stay on. So again, as I said, there's a knife. Knife can go in the holster in the back. Just looking to see if there's anything else that you can plug onto him. Again, he's got his backpack. There's hooks on the side. I assume maybe it's for the gun, but oh, there you go. Yeah, the gun can go onto the side of his backpack. And then this other equipment, whatever it is, if it would help me out, maybe it's something I'm missing from the show or the comic. The little hand can go on the backpack, and so can this Cobra head, it looks like. God bless it. I just dropped it. Hang on. So there's 3 holes in the backpack. We've got 2 pieces of equipment to go onto there. Oh. Yeah, no. So again, the claw and the Cobra head go on to the little holes there. There's a third hole in the middle for another one. The gun can go on the side. Plus, there's, oops, I'm dropping everything. There's another peg on this side, but we're out of items for it. And then we'll put his backpack on. Backpack fits on nice and firm. In fact, everything with him can go on, and there's nothing extra if you include everything. Now, yeah, because I mean, 1 second, I'm having a problem getting the bandana back around his neck. There we are. So again, there is Zartan in disguise. Let's go ahead and pull this back apart. So again, the mask has very good detail. Again, I like the pure white eyes. He's got a little goatee. Looks very much like the original mask that came with the original Zartan. It's a very nice touch. So we're going to put his mask on, and that's how we're going to display him for currently. There's the Zartan with the mask on. Oh, I'm just some old peddler. I don't know where Zartan went to. I don't know. But again, all his weapons go on his backpack. He doesn't need to hold anything in his hand. He can hold his gun if need be. So, very nice figure. Again, nice details. I pointed out the face of both the mask and Zartan himself. Very nice details to the mask. Again, the legs move freely. There's no real stiffness to that. So that is Zartan. Again, we're about 45 minutes into the show. A little less since I had some technical difficulties with my mic to begin with, but about 40 minutes into the show. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you guys have these figures? Do you like them? Again, Zartan first showed up back around issue 21 or so of the comic. Again, very nice figure. He didn't really use the mask. Again, in the comic, it was all holograms and things. In the cartoon, yeah, when the light would hit him, he would change color. This one's not a color changing figure. I believe the deluxe one I have somewhere around here is. Again, I've got 3 different Zartans that I can think of. There is this one, the retro, and then the deluxe Zartan. I'm probably done Zartans for now, but unless they come out something with like the swamp skier or something that's impressive. But excuse me. Just look at the chat again. Hit the like and subscribe buttons down below if you're on YouTube. I'm sure there's something similar for Twitch. If you're the one watching on Twitch, we're going to box again. At this point, the package is emptying, but again, I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I'm going to save the packaging. I've got a box full of boxes. Well, I've got several boxes full of boxes. 1 second. And again, we will share this real quick. Again, if you're interested in streaming or if you're a streamer, a podcaster, or whatever, you want to do YouTube yourself, again, you can always check out the link I put in the chat there. You can join StreamYard and get a $10 discount. If you click on that link, I get you a $10 discount, and plus I get a bonus or something. I get some money to help out. So if you're interested in StreamYard, definitely click on the links. I will say they have raised their prices from what it was. As I put in the Facebook, I was going to switch over to Riverside because, again, they almost doubled the price. But so I set up for Riverside. I was going to look into maybe buying that because it's a little bit cheaper. And then I went to cancel StreamYard last night. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Don't cancel yet. Let's give you a discount. So they give me a discount. So I'm sticking around for another year on StreamYard. So we'll see what happens. Again, the box for Zartan. So that is the figures I planned on opening today. I wasn't sure how long they would take. It only took 45 minutes to do all 3 of those. I wasn't sure. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like those figures? Do you guys have any of them? Just looking down here. You know what? Since we have time. It's not mine. I've got my wife's Superman figure down here also. let's open up something DC related since we got a little time right now. So again, DC. Again, the wife got this for me. It was on clearance at Walmart for $14.50, so she picked it up. And again, it's not one I would buy for myself, but as a present, I like it. Steve Martin says that he has all three. He's got to keep the family together. Of course, most definitely can't separate the family. So this figure is Captain Cold. Not my most favorite look for Captain Cold, the face mask, which we'll get to. But again, it's got the plastic packaging, includes a comic book. On the back, it shows the comic, and it shows the figure. It's one of the Page Punchers figures. Captain Cold, the Flash comic. Let's go take a look at the Flash or the Captain Cold figure real quick. Since I got done a little quicker than I thought I might. Again, I've seen this with the store. In fact, they've got Heatwave also I've been thinking about. Just again, they're friends, keep them together, but I haven't gotten that far yet. But again, yeah, for $14, you can't go wrong. So let's pour everything out. Whoops. So there's a lot in here. A lot to unpack. First thing comes with, as all the McFarlane figures do for the most part that I've seen, one second, guys. It comes with a display stand. One thing I wish that the Hasbro would do with the Joe figures is give them display stands. I had to buy a bunch. But, so it comes with a little, says that has a little DC emblem on it. Barely see it's dark. But they all come with their own display stands, which is very nice. They also come with a card, a trading card. Let me pull this out of the package. In fact, I've got a binder. I've got the Impel, I guess Impala, whatever it is, G.I. Joe trading cards. I've got a binder of all them in there. And in that same binder, I'm keeping like any of the blueprints I've got for the vehicles, the file cards for the few figures I've got, older figures. And I've also got a place in the back of that for these cards I'm getting from the DC figures. So again, the card's got the Flash and the Atom fighting Captain Cold. I think it's Heatwave and probably Grodd. Very nice art on it. Again, I love that they have the Atom on there, which is, again, one of my favorite characters. On the back, it says Captain Cold, real name Leonard Snart. Armed with a sophisticated cold gun, Leonard Snart has been hanging with the Flash since his earliest days. The self-appointed leader of the Rogues, a loose band of criminals united in their hatred of the Scarlet Speedster, Captain Cold has continuously pitted his absolute zero against the Flash's super speed. DC Direct. Again, I like these little trading cards they come with, get a little about the background of the characters. And it also comes with a comic book. I'll pull this out of the packaging and take a look at it later. Actually, I'll pull it out of the packaging now, it looks like. I got a couple of these. So again, there's the Flash comic. Just look, I'm not sure if this is reprinted from somewhere or, again, it's got some advertisement here for some of the Flash trade paperbacks. And the Flash McFarlane Special Edition. It doesn't say in the indica here that it's a reprint. So I'm not sure offhand if it's a reprint of something, or I'm assuming it's something made for this, but got some ads for some DC books in there, some absolutes and things. I don't like, glancing through here, they've got a more armored Flash. I didn't like that with in the Flash movie they had recently. I don't care for the armored Flash. And again, this Adam is a little more armored up also, which I don't. I prefer the more classic look for the characters. But again, that's just me. So let's go ahead and pull his weapon out, and it's the figure. Weapon. So again, I forgot these guys are strapped in there. Little plastic straps to hold them in to keep them from falling out during shipment, I would assume. Around the legs and arms and waist. Let's see, if I had my scissors, it would be easier. But I have mislaid them somewhere. Excuse the noise. So again, as I'm doing this, as I will say before, I'll say it again. Let me know what you guys think about the show. Besides getting scissors so it's easier, what can I do to improve this? Again, I would do this no matter what because I enjoy doing it. But so the cape was shoved through the back of the packaging. That's the way it's made. Did I miss one or did this have an extra? Or did it not cut through? 1 second. I'm trying to get this other leg out. I did cut. Okay, it looks like there was 2 bands on this one knee. Yeah, don't cut through your finger there. Here you go. All right, so try this again. Captain Cold. So again, he moves at the knees. Knees aren't too bad. The feet bend, or the ankles actually. The hands move. The wrists, the elbows all move. Not the elbows and the shoulders move. The head moves. He got a billowing cape on. It's a plastic cape. Very nice feel to it. The head moves. It doesn't look like any of this actually comes off. So again, it's a nice detail, I guess, to the mask, but Captain Cold normally doesn't have a full face mask like that. It is a nice design. I like that there's a little emblem here, little costume jewelry or whatever. His gun can go on his, okay, there it is. It can go on his wrist. Okay, the gun can separate somewhat. I guess make it easier to put it on him. Goes on his hand. So there's just his gun. It's a thing that kind of buckles onto his wrist, so it's harder for him to lose. Well, first of all, I thank Michelle for getting this for me. I do like it. It's not my absolute favorite look for Captain Cold. Again, I like when you can see his face, but it's not a bad design. More of an armored look for him. Again, he moves nicely. He's got little look like capsules on his belt, probably for the cold gun. The cape is a nice plastic material, so it's not delicate, but it can move. A nice collection of my DC collection. I've got a handful of DC characters over here. At this point, I've got Animal Man, the Atom, Owlman, and then another version of the Atom. Got both the Ray Palmer, and the Ryan Choi figures. So, as I said, I do like the DC, the McFarlane figures come with little stands for their feet to go onto so they can stand up. I like the little action figure, the cards that come with them. trying to get him to stand up on this display stand. This display looks a little small for his stance, but there we are. Oh. Can't really see it that well. I'll take a picture and put it on the Facebook group later. Whoops. I forgot I've got a touchscreen monitor and I touched it and things started shrinking on me. But anyways, so that is Captain Cold from the Page Punchers. And again, I've asked you guys what you guys like about the show. If you guys like the show, I can do better. Steve says he loves the show. It feels natural. A guy talking about what he likes to read and collect. Well, thank you, Steve. Like I said, I would do this just because it gives me a reason to talk about these things. But I like to include people with it because, again, I like talking to other people. And I appreciate you guys joining me here as I pull my toys out and display them and take a look at them. So, again, so this is Captain Cold. Not a lot to say about him. It's a nice figure. He doesn't stand very well, or I'm doing something wrong on the display stand, but at least DC gave display stands for them. There you go. So there's Captain Cold on this display stand. I will put this on the shelf with my other DC figures. I'll take a picture later and put it on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/headcast, and also /GI Joe. I've got two different groups. One for my head speak stuff, my main stuff, and then one for just the G.I. Joe. So, and we're about an hour or so, just a bit under an hour, but I think that'll do it for today. We've opened up 4 figures, made good timing. I do have to say that if you have a Rossy area, check them out. You never know what you can find there. I'm finding Joe's recently. I've been looking, but I did pick up the Bug from a Ross recently. Part of the Superpowers line. This only cost me $4, $3.99 at Ross. Definitely a great deal for the Bug. And I've also got the Brainiac Skull Ship I got for about the same price for the Superpowers collection. So definitely check out a Ross if you have one in your area. I don't see very much Joe's at mine anymore. I used to have them occasionally, but now I occasionally find something nice, but not very often anymore. But definitely check out some. I know there's a couple others back east. I can't think of the name of them offhand that people are always going on about. They find cheap stuff. Also, Heinz says that he enjoys this show and my G.I. Joe podcast. Well, thank you very much, Heinz. And I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate your comments, my friend. But I guess that's going to do it for this episode of the April Unboxing Review. Join us next month. In theory, it should be May the 16th. In fact, I've already requested off for the entire year, the third Friday of every month. So as long as nothing comes up about May 16th at 1 o'clock, we should have another one of these. Speaking of G.I. Joe, on the 27th, which is a Sunday at 1 p.m., I should be doing the episode, issue 63 and the cartoon. I think it's called The Invaders. I'm not sure who's all going to be on that episode with me. A lot of guys seem to have things booked that time, but I know Dave said he should be joining me, and we'll see who else joins me. So feel free to join me. Again, I'll be broadcasting that here on YouTube and Twitch at 1 o'clock p.m. Hang on a second, something just fell. Captain Cold committed suicide. He jumped off my shelf over here. Well, I say this month I didn't release any G.I. Joe podcasts other than my Energon protocols because, well, I screwed up somewhere and I thought I edited episode 62. And as I get ready to release it the other day, I'm like, oh, crap, I haven't edited this yet. So I just got done editing that. It's been uploaded and ready to go. So after I put a hold on that. So next month we should have, excuse me, in May for the podcast, I will release episode 62 and also Bravo Team. And like I say, the 27th we'll be recording episode 63 of the show. So feel free to join us. Again, I'm trying to fit some time up, maybe another Sunday, maybe the second Sunday of the month or something, to do a recording for Bravo Team, so I don't get behind on that. But we'll see what happens. But I guess that's going to do it for today. Again, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to join me the third Friday of every month at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, and the fourth Sunday normally of every month at 1 p.m. Pacific time, as we talk some G.I. Joe. Be sure to check out my other shows, Head Speaks, where I look at several different things. In fact, I'm about ready to start looking at the Grant Morrison Animal Man comic that ran 26 issues before they changed writers and artists and everything. And it wasn't quite as good in my opinion. I enjoyed what Grant did on it. But again, I'm going to be covering that with a special guest. I will be, let me see, we got Task Force X, where I look at the Suicide Squad comic book. That's coming to an end in a couple of months. I'm reaching the end of that. I've got maybe 6 or 7 comics left to look at. I do 2 or so a month, so only 3 or 4 months till that show's over. And in May, I should be releasing episode 50 of the Starman Adventure Show. It will be the final episode, looking at the last 2 issues of the Starman series. Plus, I will be talking a little bit about where Starman went after that. So check it out. I want to thank everyone that's joined me in the chat, Steve, Hines, and Willie Patterson. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me. Also, anyone else that may have joined us that did not comment, but if you still viewed it, I want to thank you very much. And again, check me out on YouTube, Twitter, my Facebook groups. Just look for G.I. Joe, a Real American Headcast, and you should find me. Until next time, thank you guys very much. And remember, Yo Joe. And again, I do this slowly. I'm going to end the show. There it is. I had to find move things around. And anyways, have a good day, guys.